Mataji, you are on mute.
No, I think her screen has got stuck. I think some network issue at her end. Hare Krishna, Sharad Prabhuji, shall we wait for Mataji for 2-3 minutes? Prabhuji, you're on mute. Sharad Prabhuji, you're on mute.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear.
Okay, just wait for a while. Let us see.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
Prabhuji,
yes.
there is power cut.
Okay.
So can anyone share the PPT?
Mataji, I'll try. Give me a moment.
I'm in office. That's
Yeah.
why.
Let me search for the PPT, Mataji, please.
154. I'm sorry. Actually, से power cut नहीं होता है पता है.
Mataji, okay, I have shared the screen.
Yes. Yeah. So we were.
Fourth point, Mataji, you were just finishing. You were just saying that about the bumblebee. You were saying something.
About the simplicity and humility, no? Yeah. So next point
Yes,
is awareness and deception. Can anyone highlight? Adibol?
Yes, प्रभु माता जी.
Yes,
अवेयरनेस
actually.
ऑफ डिसेप्शन. यहाँ पे हाथी का एलिफेंट का एग्जाम्पल दिया गया है और वो जो है वो जो सेंस जो है स्पर्श टचिंग सेंस वो उस पे बहुत ही आकर्षित होता है. तो जब भी तो यहाँ पे वो बताया गया है कि वो हमें इतना अटैचमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए. इलिस्ट्रेट द पर्ल्स ऑफ अटैचमेंट शोकेसिंग हाउ इट कैन लीड टू वंस डाउनफॉल थ्रू डिसेप्शन. जैसे अगर फॉरेस्ट में अगर हाथी को पकड़ना होता है तो ऐसा बड़ा सा खड्डा करके वहां पे सब रख देते हैं और वहां पे हाथिनी को खड़ी कर देते हैं. तो जैसे वो आता है टच करने के लिए तो वो खड़े में गिर जाता है. तो इनसे बचना चाहिए.
Yeah. So what it suggests, the elephant's fall is strong as a mountain, proud and grand, yet trapped by touch in hunter's land. Desire can bind the mighty tight and steal the wisdom of their side. O seeker, guard the restless flame, or strength itself will turn to shame. So likewise, we can learn, as Raksha Mataji has said. So awareness and deception, we can learn from the example of elephant. Then is the sixth point, the consequences of overindulgence. Yes, the example here we can see.
The example here is of deer and the fish. They
Yes,
are asking us to be careful about too much of indulgence into sensory pleasures, because these are like distractions. And if you every time succumb to the sensory cravings, then definitely there is a downfall, not just in the spiritual plane, but from the physical. It has got physical dangers also. So one should not overindulge into sensory pleasures.
yes. Yes, the example of fish.
The
We have
example
to
of
be
fish
very
and deer.
careful about our tongue.
Yeah.
We should not feed
Mhm.
each and every moment whatever he wants, it wants. हमें अपनी जीवा पे बहुत ही कंट्रोल करना चाहिए.
Yes. So here about the music, Prabhuji has explained, na, Sharad Prabhuji. One should be aware of the music from this material world. So what we can see is the deer is in delusion. A flute note floats through forest deep. The deer forgets its watch to keep. Sweet sound becomes a fatal snare when charm replaces inner care. Protect the gates where senses roam, or wandering tunes will steal your home. So one should be so careful with the. So we should protect our ears. No? So इसमें हरि नाम जाना चाहिए. It should get percolated through, and it's reached to the hearts of the people. And the fish, as Raksha Mata just said, a shining bait, a fleeting test, a moment's greed, a lifetime waste. The tongue that rules the mind's domain will bind the soul in subtle chain. O heart, let discipline be guide. Not every hunger must be tried. So, one should learn from the fish that one should control the senses. That is the taste. Na? So, because of that, tongue's cravings and such sensory cravings, they do spoil the spiritual lives. And our objective is to elevate spiritually, and the practitioners should control these urges for the, and if are not able to control the senses, will face the long lasting consequences of their choices. Yes. Then the next we can go for the next slide, for the seventh point, that is the value of renunciation, and then the conclusion. So what is the importance of renunciation? So how it transients deprivation? Can anyone answer?
यस माता जी, यहाँ पे हनी थीफ का एग्जाम्पल दिया है.
Yes.
मतलब इसका मतलब ये है कि वी शुड नॉट अक्यूमुलेट टू मच. क्योंकि
Yes.
मधुमक्खी बम्बल हनी बी ने जितना भी मध इकट्ठा किया था, वो तो कुछ नहीं ले पाई, खा भी नहीं पाई, मगर सब दूसरे लोग लेके गए. वैसा ही हमारे लाइफ में भी होता है. हम बहुत ही तो
Yes.
अटैचमेंट एंड accumulation should be avoided.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Raksha Mataji. So nice. And in the conclusion, yes, we got power on. Yes. In conclusion, so we can say that Hare Krishna. Yes, they do provide the profound insights into navigating the complexities of life while steadfastly maintaining a focus on the Supreme. So we do have 25 slides. We'll go fast. Then is about the story of Pingla. Yeah, so that is, she's the ninth guru. She's courtesan, the prostitute, Pingla. And here what she represents, and okay, how one can keep themselves safe in our spiritual life. Can anyone highlight? There are 5 points. The first one is desire and disillusionment.
Like one should not go after fleeting pleasures, and being a courtesan, she is always running after the pleasure of bodily senses. So but that is going to go away finally. So we should not be restless for sensory pleasures.
Yes. Okay. About renunciation and liberation, what we can learn from.
So Pingla kept waiting for the person, any person to come. So finally, then she gave up. So when she gave, only once you renounce the sensory pleasures, only then you achieve, you get peace in life. So
Yeah.
unless and until you renounce material attachments, liberation is not possible.
Yeah. So, renunciation is an essential step towards moksha, no? Liberation, and it reinforces that liberation is not achieved by suppressing our desires, but aligning our desires for pleasing the Lord. And so, accordingly, we have to take the conscious decision and redirect ourselves and our consciousness. So, for the spiritual pursuits. So, next point is on the meditation on the supreme. So it aligns with the belief that meditating on a higher power or the supreme being, it fosters transcendental peace. How it can be explained? Haribol.
By
Am I audible?
devotional, practicing devotional service, it transforms one, and we can transcend personal suffering.
Yeah. Yeah, suffering, Prabhuji has talked so much on this also. That is the nature of suffering. So suffering, it can be a stepping stone for our progressing us in our spiritual life, isn't it? So how it will be a stepping stone for our spiritual life, the sufferings?
सफरिंग के द्वारा ही हमें बार बार सफरिंग मिलती है, तो उसके द्वारा ही हमें मालूम पड़ता है कि हमारे साथ क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा। तब हम जाके कुछ दूसरा सोचेंगे। अगर बहुत ही सुख सुख ही है तो कभी भी हम सोच नहीं पाएंगे कि लाइफ में दूसरा भी कुछ करना है, अदरवाइज।
Exactly. With the suffering only, we will question why the sufferings from Hare Krishna. Okay,
यस
hope
प्रभु
I
जी।
Yes, Professor Prabhuji.
why these sufferings from me? The question will come. So, what is the root cause for the suffering? Then we will get to. Yeah. There is a supreme. It will take on this. Without sufferings, we think that this is the best place, okay, for us to live. Okay, and that will not yield us to go back to God. Yeah.
It opens the our spiritual path. It opens our spiritual path.
Correct. This is what
It
exactly
also
happened.
works as a
Yeah, this is what exactly happened to Pingala. Yeah.
Yeah.
it works
So,
as a catalyst on the spiritual path.
yeah. So then is the fifth point. Next slide, Mataji. About transcendental peace.
The real pace is in the spiritual activities.
Yeah.
मटेरियल जो भी है वो फ्लीटिंग है, एफरेमल है, बहुत ही क्षणिक है। और हमें बहुत लंबे टाइम का हैप्पीनेस चाहिए, तो हमें हमेशा स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिस को जरूर से करना चाहिए।
Yes, so we can learn so much. Thank you, Mataji, Raksha Mataji. Here we can see how Pingala got awakened. Adorned in hope, she waited long for gold, for praise, for fleeting song. But night grew dark, no footsteps came. Her weary soul burned soft with shame. Then sudden truth lit up her sight. My sorrow springs from false delight. Why beg from men who fade and flee? The Lord of love waits patiently. Hope dissolved like mist at dawn. Peace within her heart was born. In losing all, she found the key, freedom through simplicity. So, how she got spiritual fulfillment. So, it is the way it has been so nicely mentioned in our presentation. Yes. Then we can see that so this topic resonates deeply with the philosophy of devotion, the importance of detachment from material pursuits, and the essence of true happiness. So material happiness versus spiritual happiness. Can anyone compare this to, in short?
One is eminent, one is transcendent.
Yes, yes,
One is fleeting, one is eternal.
yes. It's so nice. So here we can see that the example of the python. The python symbolizes acceptance of life necessities. Okay, so it advocates the spiritual advancement over the material accumulation. So nurturing a profound mindset of reliance on divine guidance. So it is about the BBT purpose as mentioned. Then about the detachment from sense gratification. So these are the 8 points from that. Detachment we have discussed quite at a length. And for achieving a spiritual growth, so one should be detached from the material realm that is required, and service to God as the ultimate goal. So one should accept the sevas, do sadhana, and 24 by 7 one can be in the mood of Krishna consciousness and can serve the Lord in the capacities whatever one possesses. So that is the most meaningful pursuit what one can have. So then the next, Prabhuji said about the role of the tongue and senses. Here we can see the senses, the mastery over the senses is very essential for attaining higher states of consciousness. Okay. So what is the nature of a saintly person? So from these points, can anyone highlight?
He preaches what he practices. He is an absolute self-controlled, serene, peaceful, and absorbed in the spiritual objective of life.
Yes.
Navigator of our life, spiritual life.
Yes. Yes. So Prabhuji has also explained the role of charity. So as one should serve to brahmacharis as they are dependent on us. So grahasthas should go for the charity and community support. So that is required in our spiritual journey. Then is next avoiding material entanglements. So we had discussed it quite at long. So one should not go for possessions of wealth and so many attachment and become selfish. Rather can focus and dedicate on spiritual elevation. Okay, so so there are 25 slides, so we are going little fast. So it is the story of Pingla. So how illusion and disillusionment, it has been explained that. Uh, so how Pingla, she got an enlightenment overnight, and she tried to pursue the spiritual journey in her life. Similarly, so one can just we have to go beyond the superficiality of material existence and elevate ourselves. So from detachment as liberation, so the true freedom lies in attaching ourselves with the Lord's desires, and so that is the most authentic and so as to please the Lord. Then is the nature of true happiness. So how one can relate it with that this world is so fleeting, so these pleasures are also fleeting, so which are derived from the material pursuits. So one has to endure for the happinesses which do arise from spiritual realization. And then the next, self-realization and identity. So recognizing one's spiritual identity and the futility of defining oneself solely through the material body and societal roles. Then is the role of divine. Okay, so how and the suffering as a pathway to enlightenment we have learned through the story of Pingala. Then is a conclusion that So it serves as a powerful reminder of the spiritual truths that underpin our lives. And genuine contentment is found in a divine connection and not in the fleeting pleasures. Then is the comments by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this. So, can anyone highlight about detachment from material pleasures and the self-control and discipline? So that is very much required, and that is the true life's purpose.
So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is highlighting the prioritization of spiritual growth over worldly desires and material accumulation of material possession, and that true fulfillment is not in material gains, but in eternal pursuits.
Yes. Then is the next slide, third point, simplicity and minimalism, non-attachment to outcomes. Simplicity is the path in the spiritual clarity if one wants to pursue, and it enhances the deeper connection with the divine. So simplicity and minimalism, so these do exemplify a minimalist lifestyle that resonates with the spiritual ideas. So non-attachment to outcomes, as Bhagavad Gita also tells us. So can anyone highlight this point?
So you do the action without expecting the result.
Yes. Yes. So no expectations. The prosperity, one can rejoice and not sink into despair during the adversities, whatever we do feel, the happiness or the adversities. So those will be there. So as Raksha Mataji had asked in question answer session, so one do a person do offer yagya offerings for happiness, but not for the distresses. So one can see that. So non-attachment is fundamental for achieving the inner peace. Then is the next, the dangers of sensual attachment. So the minimum distractions, which will reinforce the imperative to maintain unwavering focus on higher aspiration. So the role of providence is embracing one's circumstances as divinely orchestrated is a core tenet of the saintly perspective on life. So nurturing a profound sense of peace and acceptance across the diverse life situations one should acknowledge. Then is the next point. So what is the importance of knowledge and wisdom? If one wants to have a meaningful life and the pursuits of a meaningful and fulfilling existence. Yes.
Mataji, please finish up because today time is less.
Yes, yes. Just we'll wind up. Yeah. Yeah, wisdom is an essential guiding force for the spiritual practice, and it will help us in the discernment of life's decisions, and one can have the meaningful existence. So here we have learned about the illusion of material existence, detachment from material pleasures, and which the genuine happiness where it lies. So which we mistakenly equate the temporary pleasures with the genuine happiness, and ultimately it leads to the suffering. So one should be careful and should not get snared by the illusions of love and pleasures from the insignificant activities. So then is the role of Lord, we know. Yeah, the bhakti is the pathway to authentic happiness and fulfillment, and recognition of the body as temporary. So, and the soul is the eternal one, and it holds the key to liberation from material bondage. So, body is temporary, And here is the mercy and fortune. So how Pingala interprets her suffering as manifestation of Lord's mercy, and with surrender and faith. So we can here learn that the profound importance of a detachment, divine love, and the recognition of the eternal self uh, is really important in the Pingala journey. So, and that is also helpful to us. And the last slide here. So, thank you very much. So, from Python steel to Pingala wise, the forest sings, the spirit lies. Control the senses, drop demand, hold faith within the Lord's own hand. Detach, reflect, awaken, see the world itself, your Guru be. In every creature, sky and tree, the Lord's whispers eternally. So thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandat Pranam, such a wonderful recap. I really liked your poems that you said for every teaching that each guru was giving. Thank you so much. So let us start today's class. Mataji has already done the invocation prayers. I'll just do the
Mataji, we
little
are not
prayers.
able to see your face. Just adjust your camera, please.
Now,
Yes,
Mataji,
yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaiva Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada. So I welcome everyone for today's class. We will be doing today lesson 155, which is of chapter 9. So chapter 9 we will be doing in two lessons. One is lesson 155 that we'll do today, and then on the Sunday morning class we will do lesson 156. So in chapter 9, the Avdhuta Brahmana is concluding his teachings. So we came to know that this Avdhuta Brahman is nothing but no one but the incarnation of Lord. Srila Sridhara Swami is saying, he is giving the evidence that he is Lord Dattatreya. And here is a very beautiful verse which I would like to recite. Yat pada pankaja paraga pavitra deha yogardhim apur uddhayim yadu hay hayadaya. Which means the Yadus and the Hayas, all these people, they become purified by getting the grace of the lotus feet of Lord Dattatreya, and that they obtain both blessings, material blessings as well as spiritual blessings. So this verse mentions that the King Yadu was purified by contact, by coming in touch with the lotus feet of Lord Dattatreya, and similarly, present verses here are Vandito Swa Archito Raja. King Yadu worshipped the lotus feet of the Avdhuta Brahmana. According to Sridhara Swami, the Avdhuta Brahmana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is confirming from the reference of Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 7th chapter. So now, Mataji very beautifully recapped in lesson 154 the gurus, the 9 gurus of Lord Dattatreya. Now today, in today's class, we will see the last 7 gurus. There is one more last additional guru, which is one's own body. That will be covered in the next lesson that will happen in on Sunday morning. So today we will cover the 7 gurus, the last 7 gurus. We will see these are the 7 gurus: the Kurara bird, lazy foolish child, a young girl, the arrow maker, the serpent, the spider, the wasp, and one's own body. So we will be covering today verses from 1 to 23 in today's lesson, and then in the next lesson we'll continue with the remaining last verses 24 to 33. So this lesson is the concluding lessons of the teachings of Dattatreya, the Avdhuta Brahmana. Now, the Avdhuta Brahmana is describing, he starts with his first guru, that is the Karura bird, and then he is saying that the Karura bird is teaching that attachment creates misery, and the person who is detached from material possessions is alone qualified to get unlimited happiness. This is what he learns from the Karura bird. Then his other guru is in this today's lesson is a foolish lazy child. Foolish lazy child is becoming free from the anxiety of persons who are uh, like the worldly persons are busy with the preoccupations of the world, work, family, but a lazy foolish child is not worrying about the worldly anxieties. So hence he has, so a person who is like not attached to or not thinking too much of the material world has the capability of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he gives third guru. He is describing a young girl. Young girl is we will be seeing how the young girl uses his wisdom to steady his mind. So we will be seeing that when we come to that particular example. Then the Avdut Brahmana also receives instruction from an arrow maker. The arrow maker is so deeply involved or absorbed in doing his job or doing his work that he doesn't even realize that the king is passing by him, and he didn't even look at the king. He didn't even came to know that the king passed by him. So so the arrow maker is his other guru. Then he is talking of the serpent. How is a serpent? The serpent is, he wanders alone. He doesn't have, he keeps wandering. He doesn't make one place his fixed dwelling, and he watches his movement. He's not, he lives in wherever he gets, whatever wherever place he gets. So he is not creating his own world, or he is not building his own home. So in this way, the serpent is also one of his gurus. Then later, spider. Spider
Not
is
able to
making.
hear. Yes.
Is Prabhuji, am I clear now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So then the spider, what is the spider doing? Spider is spinning a web from his mouth, and then he is again retracting that web again. So what do we learn? That the Lord, Supreme Lord Hari is creating this universe, and when the time comes, he just dissolves this universe. So he gets this very wonderful lesson from the spider, that to become aware of the creator and not get stuck in the web. The web is the universe. And the last is the wasp, the Peshaskrit wasp. This is a wonderful example, wonderful guru that the Avdhuta Brahmana is explaining, that how when we idolize or when we think of someone constantly out of affection or hatred or fear, one identifies with that object or person, and then he becomes, if you fix your intelligence on something, you become like that. So this was the Avdhuta Brahman's guru. So all these we will be learning. These are the last 7 gurus of the Avdhuta Brahman out of the 24 gurus. So let us go ahead to learn the description of these gurus. We will learn the rational and also the philosophical significance of the teachings of these gurus. So the first point that we are talking of is attachment and detachment. What is the description? The description is that of a bird. This bird is what kind of bird? It's a hawk. And the hawk, what does it do? The hawk is a prey bird. Okay, so this Karura bird is also a prey bird. It attacks, like to feed itself. It makes prey, other animals or other birds. They make a prey and they eat that bird. So there was this group of these hawks, and they were trying to find food. They were trying to find prey. And when they did not get the prey, they found a hawk which was comparatively weaker to them, and that hawk was holding a piece of meat in his beak. So they attacked this particular hawk to get that meat. And when this weak hawk, he saw all of them coming towards him to attack him, he got scared. And when he saw that his life is in danger, what did he do? He just gave up on the meat. He dropped that piece of meat. And when he gave up that piece of meat, all the hawks, they went after the meat and they left him. So what happened to him? He got spared. He got saved. Otherwise, he could have got killed in that particular circumstances. So, what do we learn from this Karura bird? Till the time you are attached to the object of attachment, you will face anxiety, you will face distress, you will face suffering. And the moment you detach yourself, the moment you give up that particular object of attachment, what do we experience? Relief. You experience freedom from distress and you experience actual happiness. So, this particular Karura bird, it is called a raptor. It is a kind of a raptor. What is a raptor? A raptor is like an eagle is a raptor, a hawk is a raptor. They have keen eyesight, they have a very hooked kind of a beak, they have sharp talons. And these talons are basically very sharp nails that they have on their feet, with which they kill animals and they attack on animals. And this Karura bird is also known for a high pitched cry. Like it cries in a manner that the cry symbolizes detachment, or the cry symbolizes dangers of material attachment. So this cry of the Karura bird is sometimes compared to a woman in distress. No, it will like very strongly in a very like a, when somebody dies or somebody's in danger, the kind of cry that comes. So that kind of a cry is there. So why do these group of hawks or these prey birds, they attack others? Because they are incited by the modes of nature, and to get that food or to get that object of desire, they become violent and they start killing other birds. They even start eating others, or they steal meat that is captured by others. So hawks and vultures and eagles, they come in this particular category. So the Avdhuta Brahmana is describing the Karura bird as one of the 24 gurus, and because the bird teaches that possessing material goods brings anxiety and misery, uh, and uh, renouncing them brings peace. So, the moment the Karura bird, the weak hawk dropped the fish, what was he doing? What does it, the dropping of the fish or the dropping of the piece of meat that he was holding in the mouth, what does it symbolize? He was letting go. He let go of his desire. Otherwise, what he would have done? He would have ate that particular piece of meat himself. All right. But the moment he saw danger, he just thought that it was wise to give it up, because otherwise he could have got killed. So he let go that material desire or that selfish desire. And the moment he let go of that desire, he experienced relief from fear and distress, because now he was no more in danger. So one should give up the what do we have to learn? That we have to give up the envious propensity to commit violence. Meat eating, like in Krishna consciousness, why we are asked to uh, uh, avoid meat eating or not to have meat, because what you eat is what you are. Plus, you are also committing, that is a food of violence, based on violence, right? So when we come to Krishna consciousness, what do? We give equality not just to humans but to other living entities also. So in order to experience actual happiness, one has to avoid envy, and one has to, see that one should not see others as enemies. So these two things are to be avoided. Uh, to avoid envying others, or to avoid seeing other people as your enemy. So this particular theme contrasts with a suffocating grip of material attachment. Material attachment is suffocating and it brings suffering, against the liberating power of detachment, which opens pathways to spiritual fulfillment and joy. The philosophical significance is, many, like most of the spiritual traditions, including devotional service, it affirms that authentic happiness comes from liberation from worldly entanglements, facilitating deeper communion with the divine. So how do we free ourselves from the worldly entanglements? That by then we come to the second point. In order to free oneself from the worldly entanglements, one has to practice, or in order to practice pure devotional service, one has to practice solitude and mind control. Now here the description is there of a small girl is given, and also a child. Now in Grahastha, what happens? We are constantly in anxiety of worrying about family, children, work, reputation, honor, dishonor. So many things a Grahastha is worried about. But if you do not worry about the family, instead you take them as the, like this is the family that Lord has given to you as a prasad. Whatever you get in the grahastha life, you take it as Lord's blessing, and you take care of them by doing your karma honestly, without expecting or without intervening in Lord's decision. Then I think a grahastha can enjoy his grahastha life. Otherwise, he will be always worried. So in this world, the Brahmana is saying that two types of people are free from anxiety. What are the two types? A foolish child or a retarded person, he is free from anxiety, and a pure devotee of Lord, he is also free from anxiety. This pure devotee should be like who is beyond the three modes of material nature. Because he is beyond three modes of material nature, he is free from anxiety. Not any devotee, but a pure devotee who is beyond the three modes of material nature. So we are seeking material sense gratification, and gradually this material sense gratification pushes us down to a miserable condition of life. Can we please put the mics on mute? So continuous sense gratification will put one's life into misery. And even if a person is smart, even if he is materially alert or ambitious, and still, but if he is involved in material sense gratification, he will finally get into misery, no matter how smart or no matter how intelligent a person is. So only us who is free from misery then? A retarded person. Because why a retarded person or a foolish child is free from misery? Because he is living in a fool's paradise. He is not surrendered. He doesn't know. He is living as per his will, and he doesn't know the dangers in the material life. So he is living happily. He is free of anxiety. And the other person, that is a pure devotee of Lord, he is also free from material anxiety because he is surrendered to the Lord. So does that mean that a pure devotee of a Lord and a foolish child, they are on the same platform? No, they are not on a same platform. A fool's peace is like that of a stone. No, why he is not? Because his peace is like a stone. It doesn't have any consciousness. But a devotee's satisfaction is based on knowledge. A devotee has perfect knowledge that whatever is happening due to the will of the Lord, and he abides by the will of the Lord. Then the Uddhata Brahmana is giving the example of a young girl. Now, what is the story? This young girl is of a marriageable age, and she is at home alone because her relatives and parents are gone out. At that time, some men come to her house, and they are they come with the intention that they are desire to marry this girl. So this girl has to give them, treat them with hospitality. And what she does is, because she has to serve them, she goes to the other room or the kitchen, you can say, in order to make some preparations or to serve the guests with some food so that they can eat something. So while she was husking the rice at that time, what was happening? She was wearing bracelets, and these bracelets were made of conch shells. So these conch shells in her like bracelets, when they were clashing with each other, they were making a lot of sound. So what did the girl? She got she was fearing that what if they come to know that I'm husking the rice? The people who are sitting outside will feel that, oh, they come from a very poor family, that they have to do everything on their own only. They don't have any servants. So because the family will get a uh, wrong reputation, what she did is she decided not to make noise. And in order that, to avoid making noise, she broke the bracelets in her arms that were of shells. And she kept on breaking them only when two were left. In each wrist, only two were left. And then she started again husking the rice. And when she continued again, those two bracelets were also making noise. So what did she finally do? She took off one from each arm. Now there is only one bracelet at each arm. So because there is one bracelet in each arm, what was happening? There was no noise. All right. So she could do her whatever job she was doing in silence without any disturbance. So what does this show? This shows the Avadhuta Brahmana is explaining the king that wherever there are people in the house, many people living together, there is bound to be quarrel. Especially in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel. There will be quarrel when people are living together. Not just many people, even if there are two people also living together, there will be disagreements, there will be arguments, and there will be difference of opinion. So, what should we do? Does that mean that we should go away and we should live alone? No. We have to avoid conflict. So many times Nitya Sakhi Mataji asks this question in the question answer session, that we are in the congregation, and in the congregation also there are so many disagreements, and there are so many in seva also there are so many disagreements. People want to have so much of they want to show, and other people who don't even know the seva, they want to come. So there is conflict even while offering seva to the Lord. So what does Sharad Prabhuji has always given her one solution to that. She would ask, what do we do? Sharad Prabhuji says, try to avoid conflict. So here in this example of the girl also, what was the Avadhuta Brahmana teaching? Try to avoid conflict. What did she do? The moment she saw disturbance or noise, she removed the bracelets. She broke it. She kept very minimum amount of ornament on herself. And even when that was making disturbance, she removed that also. Yeah, keeping ekdam bare minimum so that she doesn't get disturbed, or so that there is no trouble. So what was this girl showing? She was showing her wisdom. She was, uh, you know, she was she had a steady mind which was thinking in the right direction. And here the most crucial role that comes up is introspection. One should introspect in the spiritual life. What are we doing wrong? What needs to be done more? Okay, so her act of breaking bracelet symbolizes the necessity of minimizing distraction. Distraction should be minimized, and untangling oneself from conflicts. Conflicts should be avoided as much as possible. There was also this point will come later, so I'll go back to it. And then, what is the philosophical significance? All this should be done by to maintain equanimity, balance. Equanimity is the cornerstone for spiritual growth. So it empowers practitioners to maintain unwavering devotion regardless of the material circumstances. The girl is doing her duty in the whatever circumstances is there, but she is trying to do it in such a manner that it is not taking her away from the goal. Okay, so what does it come? How does that come? By practicing solitude and mind control. Okay, so we come to the next guru, that is the arrow maker and the serpent. There is this one slide that is missing over here. That is the point 3 and 4. So I'll just go with the teachings of the arrow maker and the serpent. So the Brahmana is telling to King Yadu that I am not giving you theoretical knowledge. I keep wandering, I keep traveling. Whatever I observe, I've observed these characteristics in these gurus that I'm mentioning. I have seen them, I've witnessed it. Hence, I am, learnt, and hence I'm humbly explaining it to you. So, what is the attitude of this Lord, who is actually Lord Dattatreya? What is the attitude of this Avdhuta Brahmana? Humbly, humility, he is explaining. He did not, pose himself as the Lord himself, that he is the incarnation of Lord. No, he did not do it. He just said that whatever I have learned from my travels, I am teaching you that. So such a humble approach, even Lord is having when he is teaching his lessons. So let us come to the next guru is the arrow maker. So how does we learned about the solitude and mind control? How does mind control happen? We have to perfect ourselves. We have to practice mind control by doing certain, like in Hatha Yoga, you come across there are postures, sitting postures, and breathing processes that helps to steady the mind. And regulated practice of yoga also helps steadying the mind. So why are we doing mind control? So that we should develop vairagya, detachment. By observing the material things, that all the material, the universe, the material possessions, the material world is doomed, it is going to end. So hence we have to practice vairagya, and vairagya can be practiced, detachment might be practiced by practicing solitude and mind control. Mind control can be practices by doing certain yogic practices. But for us, for our Vaishnavas, what is the yogic practice? By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That gives us all the benefits of all the all the steps of mind control that is there in Hatha Yoga. Everything is covered in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for us. So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is recommending Bhakti Mishra Ashtanga Yoga. That is, you like whatever you eightfold mystic yoga process performed as an offering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Initially, how? Because Arjuna only asked the Lord. Arjuna asked in Bhagavad Gita, mind is more powerful than the wind also. How is it possible? It is impossible to control it. So what did Lord tell him? Abhyasa. By Abhyasa Yoga, it is possible to control the mind. So therefore, what it is stated, Dhirya Mana, one should have, why is mind strong? Because it wanders here and there. It is so strong that how it is wandering uncontrollably, it is wandering. It is not just wandering like that. It is wandering uncontrollably. So what is stated? Dhirya Mana, a mind that is fixed within the goal. What is the goal? Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the perfect stage of mental concentration is like when you concentrate on one object only, complete concentration without any distraction and for a long period, that is called samadhi. No longer distractions, no internal, no external, nothing. That is called samadhi. Now here, in the mystic yoga, samadhi comes at a very later stage. There's a lot of before samadhi, lot of other things are there, yama, niyama, and so on. So here, what is like how do we practice avoid sense gratification, and for avoiding sense gratification, we have to emphasize on vairagya, detachment. And Lord is stating in Bhagavad Gita in 6.47, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatena nantara atmana sar shraddhavan bhajate yo mam sa me yuktamo matah. A person who is worshipping me in complete faith in pure devotional service is the highest or the biggest yogi, or he only unites with me in yoga, and he is the highest of all. So the mind can be controlled when it is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or when we fix it in our Maha Mantra, the Nama, when we fix it on the on the name of the Lord. And when we do that, the mind gets slowly becomes free from the desires, the material activities, and it comes to the mode of goodness. When the mode of goodness is becoming strong, it becomes strong. One completely gives up the modes of passion and ignorance. When one completely gives up the mode of passion and ignorance, he transcends even the mode of goodness. And when the mind is free from all the modes of nature, goodness, passion, and tamogun, then the fire of material existence extinguishes. And that time one experiences a direct relationship with the Supreme Law. So, when one's consciousness is completely fixed on the Lord, one sees no duality. There is no internal, no external. So the arrow maker was what he was doing. His concentration was so much fixed on the desired on his job, so absorption, so much engrossed he was that he didn't even realize the king is passing in front of him. What happens when the king passes? Who is the king? He's the highest in that particular kingdom. The and like I'll just give you a small example. In front of our house, even if a barat is going to marriage, we don't even know whose shadi is this. We just go and see, Are kiska barat ja rahi hai?" We have no relation. And this person, the arrow maker, in front of him, the you can say the king is the lord of that particular kingdom. That lord of that particular kingdom, he is going by. How does he go? Does he walk like that only? He comes along with his whole paraphernalia. There's a lot of band baja. His soldiers are accompanied. His royal ministers are with the king. There's a whole royal extravaganza comes in like with the king. So this whole paraphernalia is passing in front of him, and the arrow maker is completely undisturbed. He didn't even realize that such a big personality passed by, and he's still doing his job. So this is what the kind of concentration and the absorption that one requires if one has to seriously attain that unity, or that one has to establish that connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called what? This particular kind of focus is called, it is like one when rejects the internal and external illusion completely for the desired object. This is called Mukti Pada, or the status of liberation. On this platform, there is neither attraction nor aversion to sense objects. There is only loving absorption in in Lord Krishna, that is the absolute truth, and overwhelming desire to please him by devotional service. So when one gives up uh, the reality, uh, Krishna, when Krishna is the ultimate reality, and when you give up that ultimate reality, you will be forced to wander uselessly in the cycles of birth and death. So this was the lesson what the guru, the arrow maker. This was one of the guru, like how one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with what passion, with what devotion, with what diligence. Then serpent. Well, how is a serpent a guru? Serpent does not have his own fixed home. Wherever, he doesn't build his own. The other animals, they make their home. Bird is building the nest. Serpent is not. Wherever, like, he'll just go and intrude, like wherever he'll find a place that is already constructed and which is suitable for him, he'll live there. And he lives secluded. He doesn't go about, socializing, and he's also unnoticed. He doesn't go about saying that, he will not make others realize his presence or notice, So what is this serpent referring to? So, see, if a serpent gets noticed by human being, people will come after him to kill him. So you have to, what a saintly person should also not associate with ordinary materialistic people, because materialistic people are looking for targets. They want targets to attack. They will judge you, they'll pass comments, they'll, get into vada vivad and all that. So hence a saintly person tries to avoid such kind of situations. He will avoid having a fixed residence and should wander unnoticed by others. Uh, So what do we learn from this? We are grastas. We are into practicing Krishna consciousness. We are trying to please the Lord by our services. But what should be our aim? How is serpent our guru? When we are doing any seva, we don't do it because we want to get highlighted or get recognized. Oh, this person is doing so much of seva in the temple and all that. So it is not for our recognition that we are doing it. Why are we doing that? We are doing for the pleasure of our guru and Lord Krishna. So the message has to be, the intention has to be pretty clear. What is the agenda? The agenda is to please guru and Lord. Guru, and we are walking on the path of pleasing as per the Guru Sadhu Shastra, what is prescribed. So hence recognition in the terms, recognition will bring what? Fame. Fame will bring pride. So that is the downfall. Hence a saintly person does not get associated or tries to go unnoticed. He will just do his seva without getting noticed and just get away from it. All right. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has gave the example. He has taught us like what should a devotee do, what should a devotee not do. If we follow or obey by these principles that Mahaprabhu has prescribed to us, so then only we can rise above the ordinary social customs, and then we can direct our consciousness to the higher reality, and not if we don't direct our consciousness to the higher reality, we will go towards sense gratification only. So our goal should be pretty clear. So when a person is living in a temporary material body, he tries to make home, and he's doing so much of putting a lot of mehnat for things that are going to finally destroy only the possessions that he is building. Finally either he will um, enjoy it or somebody else will enjoy it, but in this whole process he will lose the important time which he could have done to improve his which he could have practiced to improve his human life. He could have made the best use of his human life. So now we come to the next example. The next guru is the spider. What is spider doing with his own? He is creating his own web. Then when the time comes, he is retracting his own web. Same like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is making the universe. When the time comes, he will dissolve the universe. So what is the philosophical significance? That there is a very intricate relationship between material and spiritual realm. Whatever time we get in the material realm, we should try to utilize in the best possible way to understand about the spiritual realm. Okay, and do not get carried away by the transient nature of the universe. Nature will come, go, again it will come, again go. What is it? It's a cyclic process. So I don't have to get caught in the web of the spider, but I have to look at the spider. Like he is doing it, and I should know the purpose why the spider is doing this, making the web, then again it is retrieving back. Similarly, I should have the knowledge why Supreme Personality of Godhead is doing that, making the universe, again dissolving it. He is giving us so many opportunities to make use of the human life and get out of it. But we don't realize that. So we should know the objective behind this creation and the withdrawal. Then the next guru is of a very beautiful guru is this. This is a insect. It is called, it has a good name. This particular insect is called, one sec, I'll just, it is called Peshakrit wasp. What is this Peshakrit wasp? This is a Sanskrit word, Peshakrit. Pesha means former or maker. It is making a form, or it is making a body. And Krit means maker. Okay, so Pesha is a form and Krit is maker. So Pesha Krit means maker of a form or maker of a body. All right. Now, in Bhagavatam, this analogy of Pesha Krit is given to show that how the jiva, he attains the nature uh, of that object that he meditates on. Like a small insect, when it gets caught by this Peshakrit wasp in the nest, this Peshakrit wasp has a nest. And when the insect is caught in this nest, it is full of fear. It is constantly thinking of this wasp, and it so much thinks of this Peshakrit wasp that it start identifying with this particular wasp, and then it finally becomes like that, you know. So what is this Peshakrit wasp teaching? That when you are weak, whereas when a weaker insect like a Jivatma, one can be a stronger Jiva, other can be a weaker. So if I'm a weaker, whatever I idolize, whatever I meditate on, whatever emotions like of fear, happiness, attachment, hatred, whatever, like uh, Kansa was constantly thinking of Lord Krishna out of fear. So similarly, Jivas, whatever we are thinking out of that absolute emotion that we have, of the dominating emotion that we have inside, hatred, fear, attachment, love, whatever thinking, that when it becomes so strong, then we become like that. Then what are we doing? We are creating our future. We are making that next life that we are going to be. All right. So, the focus here, what is the rationale? That the consciousness and focus directly influence life's trajectory. What is life's trajectory? It is not life's journey. Life's trajectory is whatever you're doing now, that changes your next step. And then finally, whatever happens next, that is your trajectory. Like whatever I am right now, what it was basically what I had desired in the past. Yeah. And what am I desiring in the present will be my future. Yeah. So I am only designing my life's trajectory, and then I blame others and I blame God. Oh, I got stuck. God is not protecting me and all that. So we are only, whatever we identify ourselves with, we become that. So what is the stress? What is the importance over here? We should pay stress or give importance to nurturing positive attachments. What is the best nurturing positive attachment? Is the attachment with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this theme aligns with the law of karma. Whatever you do, whatever seed, whatever you sow, so you reap. Whatever you think of, that you become. Yeah. So your current realities is shaped by your past desires and attachment. So it underscores the necessity of mindful choices and practicing the free will in the right way, channelizing the free will in the right way. Then the sober utilization. So all these gurus, they teach us the final lesson, which is realizing that the human body is fragile, human life is transient, it is fleeting. Then what is the use of realization? There is an urgent call of practicing spiritual life, urgent call for serious commitment to spiritual life. What is the rationale? That life is, so wherever you go, universe is constantly being created, constantly being dissolved. You are also getting into too many cycles, birth and death. And what is the present human life? Full of birth, death, disease and old age. This will be, as long as you have a material body, you will practice these four. And to get out of this, and these four are the cause of suffering. To get out of these four, you get this opportunity only in human life, not in any other life. And that human life is rare and precious, but at the same time it is limited. So in this limited time period, you have to try your best to get out of it. So this is the sober utilization of the life. So these are the pivotal themes which the Avadhuta Brahmana is teaching. And there is a very there's a necessity for detachment, focus. One should focus on the higher truths of life, and only when one is opting for the eternal quest, the one only when one is targeting, or one knows that the highest truth is Lord Krishna, only then one gets the path to go that. And only when one follows that path honestly, diligently, without getting distracted, one gets ultimate happiness and divine realization. So this was as per the BBT abstract. Now we'll see the BBT text and purport. Some of the points are new, which we will go. Material attachments and true happiness. We know material attachment is can lead to downfall. It is like material possessions guide us to the profound realization that authentic happiness is rooted in spiritual detachment and understanding. So we have to understand that detachment from material possession is very, very important to grow on spiritual life. And starkly contrast the sorrow spurred by the worldly attachment with the immense joy found in spiritual awakening that we saw in the case of the hawk. The moment he gave up that sense enjoyment, he felt extreme happiness. He was saved, you know. Then we come to violence and envy in nature. We should try to avoid conflict and always, the most important thing is violence. It is not there for devotees. We are humans, birds, animals, they are still, they can still opt for violence. But given the human birth, we have to gain that wisdom. Why we have to avoid a life based on violence? How will violence come in human life? When we show behavioral patterns of envy and competition, when we're competing with each other. First number, so when you're targeting first in the material race, then you will obviously get into, like, you will try any way to achieve that. And in that pursuit, you may end up being violent to others without noticing. So here, through the example of Hawk, the teachings encourage us to shift from envious attitudes to a broader recognition of equality. So what is Krishna consciousness? To realize that we are all parts and parcels of Lord, not just humans, but also the other living beings. So when we give them that respect and the equality, only then we can embrace Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, no. You can't practice Krishna consciousness by being a non-vegetarian. We have to eat food that is based on least violence. Okay. And so, yeah, Krishna consciousness advocates non-violence and alignment with bhakti principles. Balance of isolation and community. So without isolation, you can't grow in spiritual life, and too much of isolation will only make you fall from the spiritual life. So what is required? There's a very thin line between isolation and community. We have to see that we are not crossing that line from either sides. Why is isolation important? We saw the girl in the young girl's example. What she was doing, there was so much of distraction that she could have gone away, got distracted from a goal, but instead of getting distracted, she tried to remove the distraction. So she did not get involved into it, or she did not give a bad example to the guests who were sitting outside. How did this come? Because at that time she was alone, and she had that solitude, and so she could think in the right way. ऐसा करूंगी तो ऐसा होगा, ऐसा करूंगी तो this would be the repercussions of it. So she used because she was in silence, because she was alone, she used her in that she could take the right decision, and she did the required action. Now, if you don't spare that much of time of isolation in your spiritual practices, you will get distracted, because again you have to. When do you come into the world? You can't go away. We have to live in the world. We have to live in the community. So we need community also to practice spiritual realization. We have to all come together to make a suitable environment so that all of us can be spiritually deep rooted. But at the same time, we have to establish our relationship also with the Lord. So both are required. Community service is also required, and at the same time, isolation is also required. Why these two are required? If you are only involved only in the community seva, so what happens? Only being into community socializing, in although you are forget about non-devotees, we are talking of devotees. We are into a congregation, we are only doing seva, temple seva, this seva, that seva. But if you're not doing your chanting, if you're not giving your time to the Lord, what happens? Then it only will become it will become like a competition, like how Nityasakhi Mataji says, oh, we will do this. People are wanting recognition in whatever seva they are doing. They want to get known. They want to even be, they want to be known faces even in Krishna consciousness. Oh, people should recognize me. This is the downfall of only community service. And then isolation, what happens in isolation? When we establish a contact. In isolation, what are we doing? We are introspecting. We are establishing a contact. All these points that we are learning, we have to assimilate it. We have so that we can practice it into our life. In isolation, we can practice that because we are out in the morning. The first, why Brahma Muhurat is advised for chanting and not other Muhurat, because the other day is full of people. There will be constant disturbances. Brahma Muhurat is a time where nobody can disturb you. There will no bell will ring, no telephone will ring at that time. So you have that opportunity to constantly be with the Lord. Okay, so balance has to be in isolation or not. Complete isolation is required. Wherever you'll go, you'll be stranded. You will, again, there will be a downfall. And being with everyone and also being giving little bit of and also being in both has to be isolation. The service to the Lord in isolation has to be practiced. At the same time, community service also has to be practiced. So there has to be a this thing for both. Then we come to detachment as the spiritual discipline. Detachment as a spiritual discipline has to be there, because unless and until vairagya comes from the material world, spiritual advancement cannot be possible. So detachment is not just a virtue, but it has to be a lifestyle. It has to be a spiritual discipline that has to be formed. How will it come? Introspection. How much I have detached myself. Very small, subtle things. You can practice detachment. Very small, subtle things like today I did certain seva. You have to sit back and ask yourself, did that seva make me happy or make the Lord happy? Am I becoming so happy? If you're becoming too happy and if you get carried away by the praises that you get, there is this thing of developing pride. So I have to remind myself constantly, detachment. This praise was not for me. This was for the Lord, because this quality is being given to me by the Lord. And I have to utilize it in the service of Him. So this is also a way of detachment. And detachment, what too much of family involvement in the family life. No, there has to be certain limits to it. So you have to go in that. You don't have to ignore your family life also completely. You don't have to get too much involved also. So there is this balance you have to strike. And how does the true detachment comes? This is not my family. This is responsibility is given by the Lord to me. Okay, then reality versus illusion. I'm just winding up. Just 2 slides are left and then we are done. Reality versus illusion. So there is a stark distinction between fleeting material world and eternal essence of the Supreme Lord, emphasizing the transient nature of our material existence. Reality is different. The web of the spider is different, but the spider is different. So I should know which is the reality, which is the illusion. Who is creating this web? I should know. So the spider is weaving and retracting its web, illustrating the Lord's dominion over creation and destruction. So I know this thing is happening. This whole सबके पीछे भगवान का हाथ है. So it is encouraging us to recognize that material world, वो तो आता जाता ही रहेगा. आज एक वेब है, कल ये चला जाएगा, फिर दूसरा वेब आ जाएगा, फिर ये चला जाएगा, फिर तीसरा वेब चला जाएगा. So I should know which is reality, which is illusion. So this particular theme invites a profound exploration of existence, urging individuals to seek Krishna's eternal truth beyond the veils of materialism. Now we are in this congregation. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We are doing these presentations so nicely. Prabhuji is presenting these slides in front of us, which key points. We don't have to spend the whole time in reading Bhagavatam. All the hard work he is doing, giving us the essence of it. And we are in just 1 hour or 2 hours, we just, take the essence, go back. Why so much of hard work Prabhuji is doing? So that we are able to see what is reality, what is illusion. During the whole week, in this weekend only, now it has become Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In these 2 hours, he is giving us a distinction between reality and illusion. See at our life in the other weekends and other weekdays and during the weekends. What is the stark contrast? From here only we can make out. Is what are we doing? We are seeing the creator, not his creation. In these 3 hours, we are seeing only the creator, not his creation. So what are we doing? We are making a distinction between reality and illusion. Then meditation is a catalyst. Whatever you think, the Peshakrit insect, you, in it is the capturer. It will capture. The world will allure you, will capture you. It is so tempting that it is not possible for a normal person to come out of the material illusion. Not possible at all. So this, what does the insect is doing? It is constantly. Why does it fall prey to it? It is constantly meditating on that. It is constantly thinking. Even out of fear, it is thinking of that only. अरे मैं कैसे बचूं? अभी मैं मर जाऊंगी. We also have to think of what? We can die anytime. Who can save us? Lord's name, Lord's pastimes, meditating on Lord's pastimes, uh, service in Krishna consciousness. So whatever actions are dedicated, whatever day, whatever minute, whatever second is dedicated, has to be thought keeping Lord in mind. So when Lord is in mind for every action that I'm doing, ultimately what I'm doing, I'm meditating on God. And then what am I doing? I'm shaping my future. Every time I think of Lord, my future is becoming changed. My the karmas that I have to face, my destiny is becoming changed. My life is becoming changed. Each and every moment when I think of Lord Krishna, my trajectory, my life's trajectory, my future, my other lives, everything is becoming changed. So this illustrative example of the wasp and the weak insect compellingly demonstrate that our meditative focus defines our becoming. Human mind is very powerful. Whatever it's like a sponge. You put the sponge in water, it will take water. You put the sponge in paint, it will absorb paint. You put the sponge in any other solution, it will absorb that. It will also take the color of that. Forget about the substance, it will take the color of it. That is the power of human mind. So we have to engage this mind in Lord Krishna so that we develop uh, actually we get, we make it a habit of always thinking of him. It is habit that makes a person. So when we constantly get into the habit over a period of time, we get that habit of thinking of Lord Krishna, you will ultimately achieve his lotus feet only, no? So that's what we have to learn from this insect, that you have to meditate on the positive, the nurturing element, and not the negative element or the killing element. Okay, so this theme reinforces the critical importance of intentionally, uh, you know, getting into spiritual practices, illustrating how dedicated meditation on Krishna paves the way for liberation. We just have to think of Krishna. Okay, Krishna consciousness, what? Absorbing in Krishna, his form, his pastimes, his name, everything about him. Now, the Vaishnava devotees are what? They are the agents of spiritually desired change in society. We have to catch hold of them. These are agents. We don't have to get into the material agents who will pull us into the world. We have to catch hold of the Vaishnava devotee. A true devotee of Krishna engages in the world, not in engage with the world, not for personal gain, but to serve or glorify the world. He is doing the same activities that a materialistic is doing, but the approach, the mindset, the intention is different. The distinction between a selfless nature of devotees and the pursuit of materialists highlights the transformative power of genuine devotion, showcasing how serving the Supreme leads to transcendental fulfillment. Whatever you're doing, even a small piece of charity that you're doing, if you do it for yourself, thinking that I know I will I'll earn good karmas, that is also short lived. But when you do it with selflessly without keeping yourself into the picture and thinking that I'm doing a service to the Lord, isme bhi Bhagwan hai, that satisfaction will be completely different. So this theme articulates the vision of life devoted to Krishna consciousness, revealing the true satisfaction lies in serving others and the divine rather than chasing fleeting ambitions. So the conclusion is that profound importance of detachment. One has to practice compassion, disciplined practice in our quest for true happiness and enlightenment. Together, they highlight the transformative potential of Krishna consciousness as a powerful pathway to liberation and deep fulfillment, inspiring hope and resolute determination in our spiritual journeys. This is especially for Kali Yuga. There is very less hope in Kali Yuga. Only when when we get this kind of association, when we are making our mind a sponge to absorb the virtues of our fellow devotees, when we walk along with our fellow devotees, only then there is some solace in Kali Yuga, otherwise there is no. So here we end today's lesson 155. In the next lesson, which will Sunday morning, again the eighth guru is, which is one's own body is a guru. That is again interesting. So please join for that. I end my presentation over here. Now it is open for feedbacks, comments.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam. Prasad Prabhuji, your voice is breaking.
I'm driving Mataji. That is the reason. Hope now it is
Okay,
better.
now.
I just took the microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's
It's so
better.
wonderful session, Mataji. This is lifetime learning actually. So all 26, right, Mataji? That is what I remember you said the number learnings.
To
From Avadut.
24, then 25th
24.
is the additional one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any
The 20,
single slide which is covering all 24, Mataji? Because, or 25? The reason is like, it's so amazing. Lifetime, remember, we have this 24 lifetime, Mataji.
yeah. I think these 3 chapters only are the list. Like if you want a list, no, that of all this, these 3 chapters only Prabhuji started, right from the number 1 Python to like we ended up Pingla in the last, and today 7, and that. So these 3 lessons only are the like order in which we should also take it up to at least
I
get the
was thinking
learning
if you
step
have a
by step.
mind map, yeah, if you have a
Prabhuji,
mind map.
chapter 7, 8, and 9.
No, I'm saying if you have a
Oh,
mind map with all 24 together, that will be
I
easy to
can make
remember.
it. I can make it like how Prabhuji makes, no, like one
Yeah,
line and he gives that arrow pointing.
yeah,
So that can be
yeah.
done. That's a one. Yes,
That,
Prabhuji, good
yeah, we
suggestion.
can take a
Okay.
print
Even
of
Nitya
that.
Sakhi Mataji has made a wonderful poem, like, right?
Yeah, Mataji's poems for today were so wonderful.
Superb, superb. Here is
Is
speaking. Mataji, kindly share with us.
Yes, Mother, it was nature, no? And I was learning about Sita Devi also. So how she was in forest. And so that's
Hmm,
like me and try to little bit correlate.
so
no,
nice.
but you combined it so beautifully. It was going so beautifully in the recap, as if
Yes,
there was
yes,
a
yes.
flow.
No, even like it's so surprised that she's giving own poems. That's so nice, Nitisaki Mataji.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
I do
Cannot
I was
imagine.
I do write in Marathi, Prabhuji. So my
Oh, is
Marathi,
it? Okay.
wow.
yeah,
Wow, so nice.
not in English.
And Mataji, yeah, so detailed. So recap also so nice. And Samata Mataji, this session is so awesome, Mataji.
Thank
No
you, Prabhuji.
words
Dandavat
actually.
Pranam.
So wonderful actually. I
Yes.
think this is all 3 chapters as you mentioned seems to be nectar, and we have to remember lifetime. And there is a takeaway. I think if I remember Mataji, even 2-3 points, okay, 2-3 examples, if that goes to our heart and if we start implementing, no, in my opinion, the life will change. Yeah,
Yeah, so true.
like especially 2 things were hit so
Especially
hard.
Prabhuji, absorption. That
Absorption, yes, exactly. I'm
arrow
about to say that.
maker, arrow maker
Arrow
वाला
maker,
बहुत
that was
अच्छा
so
काम.
hitting, Mataji.
Yes,
It was so hitting.
yes.
Arrow maker one. See, he doesn't know. He's just a arrow maker, and the kind of absorption he has. If you could get that kind of
We
absorption in
need
Japa,
that
Mataji.
type of
Japa, Japa.
absorption.
Yeah, Japa. That's so
Yes,
amazing.
Prabhuji. Yes. Very true.
you see, many of these 24 gurus we have already seen. We see them every day, but we don't realize there is something to learn.
Exactly, Prabhu. Yeah.
If you think of, there is something to
Yes,
learn from
Prabhuji, very true. We did not use
every.
our brain
We
also.
see every day. Mm.
Yes, that is so true. But learning from Srimad Bhagavatam, learning from such great teachers, we should try to internalize them. Then that will be very, very helpful to us.
Yeah. And I
Yes,
don't
Prabhu.
know if any of you have realized this. Whoever is presenting the lecture or whoever is doing the recap, I myself have experienced it for myself. Whatever is that lacking in me, that only recap lesson will come to me, or that only presentation will come to me. So, like, I did not get the Python one. I got this one. So, I wonder why, because all these things are lacking in me. So that, you spend some time when you are presenting, you have to spend more time on studying it so that you should present it in a proper way. So that
Yes, Prabhu.
meditation also, like Lord is giving, we think that all this is designed by all the scheduling is done by Sharad Prabhuji and Charu Prabhuji. Actually, it is happening by a higher purpose. I feel so.
Yes, Prabhu. Last week, I kind of summarized C Sampradaya. In fact, I was so connected to the Sampradaya, Mataji. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. There is so much of learning. I think this is not
प्रभु
just
जी जब भी
happening.
हम
This is all happening
प्रिपरेशन
by
करते
plan.
हैं तो भी इतना अच्छा लगता है कि वी आर मोर एंड मोर कनेक्टेड विद द
Yeah,
श्रीमद् भागवतम.
yeah.
We
Sharad
feel
Prabhuji, I
like
think this
that.
is all plan, Prabhuji. Yeah, it's all plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
earlier,
we are so
Prabhuji sir.
fortunate, Mataji, that we get all this opportunity.
Yeah. Earlier, no, I have a confession to make. Earlier, I used to run away from recaps. I was like, "अरे मेरे को नहीं मिलना चाहिए." Now I seek for it. मेरे को मिल जाए. So
Yes,
that's the difference.
Mataji.
Very wonderful, Mataji. Very wonderful recap.
माताजी एक भी
Even your
जो भी
lesson
सेवा है ना
sessions.
वो बर्डन नहीं होनी चाहिए. It should be
Yes.
relished by each and everyone.
So, Harsha Mataji, you should prepare yourself for recap in some time to come.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, I will try, but little I have two kids to
Yeah,
take
this
care. I
is
will try,
possible.
Mataji.
Like
Yeah,
if you ask anyone and everyone, they started
yeah.
at one stage, and by doing these recaps, then you learn, then it improves. Nowadays, it has been made very, very simple. You just find out questions, you ask the questions in such a way that it is understood by the recipient, the devotees. And then they
Yes,
answer,
Prabhuji.
and you clarify certain things only. It is so easy nowadays.
प्रभु
That's
जी
why,
एक
Yes,
क्वेरी
Prabhuji.
है प्रभु जी.
yes, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in Recap Seva, if there were so many slides, then we have to go through each and every slide, or maybe we should take
No,
out the
no,
main
no,
points and all.
no. You have touched the right point. You do not have to go through all the slides. You just recap the important points. Only the important points. If there is one point in the slide, but the slide is giving 5 points, you go to the next slide. There is no requirement to cover each slide and each point which is given in the slide. So that should be remembered, and we have to follow the time frame also.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
It
Today,
is
Prabhuji.
it,
Mataji
it,
did very
it is not
nicely.
it is not a class. It is just a revision, a recap of the important lessons which were learned in the last class. So
Nityasakhi
any
Mataji
any
did so nicely today. There were 25 slides. She did so nicely.
yes, very nice.
Yes, Nityasakhi
There is
Mataji. Very
no
wonderful.
doubt about it.
And with all the poems and examples she gave,
Yes,
it was
Yeah,
Mataji,
wonderful.
very true.
that
Yeah.
was the
And
USP
even,
of today's recap.
yeah, yes, and
All,
even
all,
you did a very wonderful session, Mataji, and it got taped in my mind, everything. Very wonderful. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Mataji. Please bless.
Okay, so if there are no other points coming up or any comments, then we can conclude the today's class with the Nrsimha prayers.
Yes. Anybody would want to volunteer for nursing prayers? Dipti Mataji was here. Yeah,
Yes.
Dipti Mataji, would you like to do Narsim prayers?
Let me try, Mataji. I'm having cough and sore throat.
Oh,
Let me
okay,
try.
no problem. No problem, Mataji. Harsha Mataji can do. Harsha Mataji, would you like to do?
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. प्रहलाद दायिने प्रहलाद दायिने हिरण्याकाशीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्याकाशीपूर्वक्षः शिलटङ्कानखालायि शिलटङ्कानखालायि इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा नरसिंहदिं शरणं प्रपदे sorry इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा पाहि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा पाहि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कलकमलवरी नखम् अद्भुतशृङ्गम् ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवदृष्टा नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कलकमलवरे नखम् अद्भुतशृङ्गम् दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवदृष्टा नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नरसिंह भगवान देव की जय भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय गौर निताय की जय प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुदेव की जय चंद्र भाई की जय शरत प्रभु की जय संजीव प्रभु जी की जय और असेंबली बाटा जी संदीप प्रभु जी की जय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू फॉर द वंडरफुल सेवा माता जी and प्रभु जी थैंक यू वेरी मच
Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you,
Thank you
Mataji.
very much. Thank you,
थैंक यू
Samta
माता
Mataji.
जी
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Thank you all.
थैंक यू समता माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल डिवोटीज
Dandavat pranam to all devotees. So we meet tomorrow morning. Hare Krishna.
यस यस मैम
Hare Krishna.